Hi everyone, welcome back. So in this session guys, we will continue our Java session. Okay. So if you are new in the channel, so please watch my previous video. So till now we have uploaded fifth video. Why I'm going to tell you to watch from the starting, because you will not understand in the middle of the session. Okay. So if you are a beginner, if you already know, you can watch, no issue at all. But if you are a beginner, then go to this playlist and you can watch this. All this playlist description means link you will get in the description, so don't worry. Okay, so let's move in the another topic of Java. So last session we have discussed a static method and not a static method. We have discussed in the depth, right? So in Java we have a two types of the member: static member and non-static member. Okay, so we have started method, why we use the method, the syntax of the method, types of the method, right? So last session we have discussed static method, like how to create and how to access and all. So now we will discuss what is non-static method and how to create a non-static method, right? So when I say non-static, right, so the method which does not have a static keyword. You can see main method is have a static keyword, means it is your static method. So let me give you some example non-static method. Okay. So okay. So method where we have to create method, we can create as a class block. Okay. So this all the things we have discussed. So this is your class block. So I will create a static method, sorry, non-static method. So void login page. Okay, void login page. You can see in the last video I have already discussed what is the void keyword and what is a non-void keyword. So if you are missing the session, please watch my previous video, right? So I already explained, but yeah, we'll just give you the overview of this return type. Okay, so this is your login page. Okay, so now this is called your non-static method, non non param. Okay, and void type. Got it, right? So here, okay, understood, right? So now we will create another method. So another types of the method. So I'm giving non-void type. So int, here we have a number of number of customer. Okay, so this is your number of customer. So this is your number of customer. Here guys, I have used integer type. Okay, so this is your non-void type. Means void type means when you are not returning anything, then we will use void keyword. Are you getting my point? And we have a non-void type, so you can define here any data type, either primitive, or you can also define non-primitive data type, like reference type data type. Okay, so slowly we will understand, don't worry about that. Okay, and we'll tell you where you can use this void and non-void as a project level. Okay, so let me develop this code and we'll go one by one to explain you, so don't worry. So when you are writing this non-void type, I have written the integer type, then you have to return the same type value. Okay, so you have to return same type value here. Okay, otherwise it will not work. Okay, so in the void type, you can pass the parameter as well. Okay, so I'm just going to pass here parameter number of, I'm just writing product, product. Okay, and string prod 1, string prod 2. Okay, so this is your prod. So here, which type of method it is? This is called non-void, non-static, void type. parameterize method. Okay, and this is called your non-static method, non-parameterized, non-void type. Okay, we can also create we can also create let me you can pass the parameter. So I'm just writing a string. So here I can write number of emp. Okay, so I'm passing here a string name, a string, a string address. Okay, so you can see here with non-void type, and we are also passing some parameter. Return anything, like, means you have to return not anything, like whatever the return type you have given, you have to return the same value. So I'm just writing something test, and you can return any a string value. Okay, so when you will develop some real-time code, right? So what happened, you have to return some value. I will give you one example so you will get more clarity about a void type and non-void type, how to use in your project. Okay, so just go for the basics, then we can explain as a project level where you can implement this concept. Okay, so non-static method, non-parameterize, and non-void type. Okay, so now the question is, so many of are wondering what is the void, why we use this void keyword. So if we will not use this void keyword, okay, so now if I will compile this code, you can see the compiler is going to tell you invalid method declaration, please define your void return type. So in method we have a two types of the return type. If we are not returning any value, then we have a void, and if you are returning something, then we have a non-void keyword. Okay, means any data type. So I'm just writing, so you have to ask the question where we can use void keyword in our project. Okay, so I will give you guys a very simple example so you will get more clarity. So suppose okay, okay, I need to, okay, suppose you have a test case. Okay, suppose you have a TC1. Okay, understood, right? TC1. Here, suppose you have to launch the browser, then you have to enter user name, then you have to enter password. Uh, okay, you have to enter password, and then you have to click on sign in button. Suppose this is your test case is there. Suppose you are a automation test engineer and you are going to develop this script using the Java Selenium concept, or if you are a developer, like you are writing some functionality to implement this function in any website. So you can take any scenario and you have to implement this function. Okay, if you will go for the Java Selenium concept, you can write a simple script, but in the framework development, right, you have to create a reusable method. Those method we can reuse it. Okay, those method we can reuse this. Okay, so now, so here suppose we have a one class helper. Okay, in this class, okay, what I can do, in this class we can create a reusable method. Understood, right? So suppose you have to implement, like you have to create a method to click on the sign in button, right? So here you have a only click operation, we are not doing anything here, right? So void click. Okay, so suppose you have created a method void click on ele. Okay, Okay, so now when you will do void click on ele driver dot find element, like suppose you have to do some click operation, right? So you have driver dot find element y dot xpath, and like you are using some click operation. Okay, this is the dummy code. Okay, so here we are not returning, we are writing the logic and we are not returning anything, right? So we have a only click operation. But in this scenario, if you are going to create a functionality of enter username, but you have to implement as a framework level development. Got it, right? So this code you have to implement as a framework level development. Then what you have to do here? Understood, right? So suppose this username you are reading from Excel sheet, right? So you can create a method called string read data from Excel. Okay, and I'm not going to implement this all. Okay, so just I'm giving you example as a project level where you can use void type and non-void type. Okay, so user, so just you are passing some file path, or you're passing a string sheet name like this data will store somewhere. That's why I have given the return type as a string. Understood, right? So suppose you have developed this logic and this method you have to use in your test runner class. So here you have a test runner class. Suppose this is your test runner class. Then string user name equal to suppose helper. This is your suppose this is your, or you can, if you have a non-static, then we can create a helper help equal to new helper. Okay, and you are going to access this method from this. So I know that if you are a beginner guys, definitely will get confused if you are not watching my previous video. If you are watching my video and you are here, then definitely will understand this. Here I'm trying to explain you where this concept we can use in our project level, right? When you are developing some project, either you are development, you are a developer, you are automation test engineer. Okay, so now you can call this method read data. Understood, right? So you are getting something, like you are getting some data from somewhere, right? So now this data will store in this variable. If you will not define this a string type, then where this data will store? Are you getting my point? So this is how you can implement this void and non-void type. Okay. Still you guys have a doubt regarding void type and non-void type, so you can comment below. I will definitely reply back to you. Okay. But repeat this video once where you can use. You have a many scenario to use void and non-void type. And the parameter, right? If you require some like username, like you are creating some functionality to read the data from the Excel sheet, you have to pass the parameter file path, sheet name, row name. So here you have to pass the parameter, according to we can pass the argument. Are you getting my point? So now guys, we will discuss how to access this method, means how to access this method. So if you have a non-static, then you have to create an object. Okay, n equal to new object. Are you getting my point? Again, guys, you have to ask the question, what is this object? Understood, right? So, how to create an object? First of all, understand why we require this object. Because if you have a non-static member or non-static method, you have to create an object. Without object creation, you cannot access those value, right? You have to create an object. Are you getting my point? How to create an object? Class name reference variable equal to new class name. We can take a one separate session for the object creation and all, but here just I'm going to explain you how to create an object. Okay, so now this is your class name and we have a reference variable. You can write anything. New keyword means it will create an object. Okay, so let me, new keyword means it will create an object. How to create an object? So you can create an object this. Okay, so this new keyword will help you to create an object. Okay, and this is for object creation. And now this is called constructor. Class name and this parenthesis is called constructor. The use of this constructor is to initialize an object. Okay, so all this non-static member will get memory inside this object. Okay, so suppose all the method will get memory here. And how to access, suppose this is your login method. Okay, how to access this, how to access this store data is stored inside this object, but how to access this member from the object, right? So we have a reference variable, right? So here you are holding this reference variable. Okay, for accessing the object you can write n dot login, so you are able to access by using the object. Okay, so we'll have a separate session of the object in the coming session, so don't worry. So I'm just going to explain you here so you don't have any confusion. Your concept should be clear. Okay, otherwise um, you will create a problem to work in your project. Okay, so now I'm going to access this object login. So here you can see there is no parameter, so you should not pass any argument here. So n dot login. Okay, so here we should not have anything to. So now we have a, I'm going to n dot, so this is your product. This is the product. Okay, how to access the product, and we have a customer. Okay, so again you can just call this. You can see the product, we have some parameters, so I'm passing the argument. This value is a string type, and remember this parameter, right? Like you have to pass the same data type in the same order. Order will also same. Order means how many parameters we have. Two parameters. So you can see I passed only two parameters, two argument. In technical word, this is called argument, or you can say input and output, but that is not a good word here. You can define here parameter and argument. Number of customer, you can see we don't have any argument, sorry, parameter. So just I call here, that's it, number of parameter. Apart from that, we have a number of customer, then you can see number of the employee. Then again you have to pass here, what you have to pass here, n dot. Now again n dot number of employee. So just you can say name, it, and address. This one. Okay, understood, right? So if we will execute this code, then what happened? So in the last session I already explained you the execution flow. Let me run this code first. Able to compile, press Control 1. If I will do the press Control 1, it will compile the code. If I will press Control 2, it will, you will get execute the code. You can see this all the value we are getting here. I didn't change this. This is your number of employee. Okay, let me change this printer statement. So this is your number of employee. This is your number of employee. Let me, okay, again I'll compile this code. Able to compile, I'll execute. You can see login, product, number of customer and employee. Okay, so the same thing guys, method will execute from top to bottom. So when you will execute in the runtime, the control will come inside this main method. Okay, so when the control will come 25, right, it will create an object. Okay, when object will created, if you will not create an object, you are not able to access non-static member, either method or either variable. I think next topic will teach you variable. Let's see. Okay, then if you are you are accessing, you are calling the login method, then control will search where is your login method. This block will execute. Again, the control will come here, product. So product, then again it will go and it will execute product. Again, number of customer. So it will go and execute number of customer. Right. So line by line it will execute, it will go for that block and it will execute. So I think hope you understand. And I already explained you how to use this all the things in your project as well. Okay. So if you are new in the channel, please subscribe my channel and keep this bookmark, this playlist. Coming session we will upload many videos. And that's it guys. So please subscribe. Do not forget to subscribe and press bell icon so we'll get new video notification. So in the next video, bye bye.